what's your reaction to that, first of all, that relegation confirmation?
Yeah, obviously it's tough as a club and as players. You're hurting, obviously, especially at the weekend. I think the way we lost the game as well, it was a hard day, and yeah, we're feeling it, but we just need to try bounce back and finish the season as strong as possible. Try to get one in a few games and get that feel-good factor about on the pitch, and build to next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose now that relegation's confirmed, it does take a bit of the stress off, and you can really focus on the game, focus on the football, maybe take some more risks as well.
Yeah, I think obviously it was tough for us. We knew we had a bit of a gap to try bridge, but we kept pushing. Do you know what I mean? We kept believing that we can do it. But obviously, it was confirmed at the weekend. It was tough, but again, as I said, we just need to try to stick together as a team, as a club, and as fans, and hope to build. And as you said, get something out now the rest of the season. Try some new things or whatever, or opportunities for players and stuff, and look to next year and see where we end up.
You've played obviously in the Scottish Premiership and in League One with a recently relegated team. How has that compared to playing with a newly promoted team like Forest Green, who maybe aren't as well established as your Celtics and your Sunderlands, for example? What's the sort of differences with the clubs that you've played for over the years?
It's tough to kind of point out one or two differences, to be honest. It's just obviously coming up last year, and it's a tough league. Do you know what I mean? Done well to get promoted, and then have a crack at it this year. And I think we had a good go at it. To be fair, obviously a lot of things in the last couple of months have went against us, and conceding late on, and we'll go back to the manager's first game, Shrewsbury and stuff, like just not getting that luck. Do you know what I mean? Conceding two late goals, and I think if games like that go on your favour, then things might have been a bit different. I think Aki Stanley as well, where they were sending off, was harsh, and we were comfortable in that game. And yeah, I think when you're at the bottom, you see most often than not that things kind of go against you more than for you. So, but it's not an excuse. It's just observation of the games if you take them in isolation. But yeah, it's we've had a good go at it, and I'm sure we'll build again and go again next year.
Duncan Ferguson's mentioned that, of course, a few times in the post-match interviews, that the 50-50 chances, the 50-50 calls just aren't going Forest Green's way. Is that something that you and the rest of the players feel as well?
Yeah, I think it's not been widely spoke about as players and making excuses. I think it's just in my own kind of perception of it, that a couple of decisions that have probably went against us, that sometimes you get, sometimes you don't. It's no blaming the refs or whatever. It's just, it's football. Do you know what I mean? You get some, you lose some, and yeah, I think in just key moments in games we've either conceded late or we've had a man sent off in important times of the game when we're ahead or whatever, the Aka game. And yeah, that's football for you. Sometimes when you're at the bottom and you're struggling a little bit, that a lot of things go against you. And then when you're at the top and you seem that you get penalties and you get good decisions and stuff, it's just the way football works, I think.
You've obviously had a heavy defeat on the weekend, and you're going up against Fleetwood tomorrow, I think. So how are the players feeling? How are you feeling ahead of that game, going into it? It must feel like you can maybe do something a bit different, or try something new now that relegation, as I say earlier, has been confirmed.
Yeah, I think obviously we were disappointed. I think the manner of the result of the weekend as well, especially at home, it just wasn't us at all. Usually we're in the games and we're fighting till the end, and we kind of get beat with a big scoreline. But I think it's just about maybe putting that right. We know obviously the relegation is confirmed, and we can't dwell on it. We've got to accept it, take responsibility as players, and move on. And hopefully we can, now at the end of the season, get a few wins, a few decent results, performances, and try build something going into next year.
You're a more experienced member of the side. Have you found you're being relied on more than in other clubs you've played for? Obviously being captain as well, that comes with a burden of responsibility there.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, to be fair. Obviously I came here and I'm the oldest boy in the squad and just turned 30 as well, so it was a funny one. But it's been great. Obviously coming in and try to use my experience and help. There's a young squad and try to help them and give them some help when I can. And being the captain and stuff, I've enjoyed the responsibility and obviously disappointing some of the results, but as a personal, getting games and having that responsibility, I've enjoyed personally, but I just wish that I could have put a few more wins to that as well.
In his post-match interview as well this weekend, Duncan Ferguson described some of the issues with a lot of the season and some of the players as they're being too soft, not strong enough, not aggressive enough in their challenges and things like that. Is that a fair assessment, would you say?
I think at certain times, yeah. I think you see at the weekend we looked a bit soft. Which is disappointing because I said before we're usually in the fight. But I think we've got a young squad. And sometimes that happens with a lot of young boys in the squad. But there's going to be some times where you can kind of get overpowered and stuff. But we've got to take that in the chin and learn. And hopefully, the majority of the boys that are just starting their career in football can take that in the chin, and they know that these leagues, that teams are going to make it physical with you, especially set plays and stuff, and you need to stand up. And me as well, learning that as well. Obviously, I know I've come down here before when I was at Sunderland and stuff, and you know that there's different challenges that may be more physical certain places, and you've got to stand up and be counted. But I think at certain times that there has been that, and it's about us putting that right, to be honest.
And you came in November, didn't you? I think.
Yeah.
So would you like to be involved next season? What's going on? How's that sort of looking at the moment?
Yeah. Obviously, I've enjoyed it. I come in and just want to get as many games as I can and help the club. And I've enjoyed it. I think the club has spoke to my agent and stuff like that, and kind of gone through stuff. And I think it was hard because we didn't really know where the club was going to be really until obviously we knew at the weekend. So I think I'd imagine now that the talks will probably progress a wee bit and then take it from there. But yeah, I've enjoyed it, as I said before, and playing football, and fans have took to me really well, and I've enjoyed that, and responsibility as a kind of older pro as well. So yeah, it's been all good for me. Obviously, just no managing to stay up is the only negative, to be honest.